Who were the Anunnaki, and what role did they play in ancient history? Are the Anunnaki divine beings, extraterrestrial visitors, or a fusion of both? Could ancient texts and artifacts be revealing the truth behind the Anunnaki's legacy? What if the foundation of human civilization was influenced by beings from the stars? Why does the mystery of the Anunnaki persist? And what could their story tell us about humanity's origins? The Anunnaki are a group of deities whose influence stretches across several ancient civilizations, particularly those in Mesopotamia. Their stories are rich, mysterious, and often interwoven with the origins of human civilization itself. To fully appreciate the enigma of the Anunnaki, we must look at them through various lenses: mythological, historical, and even speculative. Were they gods, extraterrestrial beings, or perhaps something far more complex? In this video, we will explore the myths, mysteries, and modern interpretations of the Anunnaki, ultimately asking whether they were the true architects of human civilization. The term Anunnaki is derived from ancient Sumerian texts. The name can be broken down into two parts: Anu, which refers to the sky god or the supreme deity of the Sumerian pantheon, and Ki, which means earth. Thus, the Anunnaki are often interpreted as those who came from the heavens to the earth. In the Sumerian mythological context, the Anunnaki were a group of powerful gods who were responsible for shaping the world and guiding the destiny of humanity. The Anunnaki were not just a singular deity, but a collective of gods, each with specific responsibilities. Some scholars argue that the Anunnaki were the gods of the heavens and the earth, while others suggest that they were much more than divine figures. They could represent powerful extraterrestrial beings who had a hand in the human evolution of early human civilizations. In the evident civilizations, the Anunnaki's mythology is primarily associated with the Sumerians, one of the world's first great civilizations, located in what is now modern-day Iraq. The Sumerians created a vast and detailed pantheon of gods and goddesses, and the Anunnaki played a central role in these stories. In their accounts, the Anunnaki are often depicted as a divine council of beings who governed various aspects of the cosmos and human existence. The most famous myth involving the Anunnaki is the creation story, where these gods are said to have created humanity. According to the ancient texts, the Anunnaki were responsible for shaping the first human beings out of clay and giving them life. However, there is a twist to the creation story that has fueled much debate among scholars, especially in the context of modern theories. The Sumerians' Enuma Elish, a key text of their mythology, presents the creation of humans not as a simple divine act, but as a laborious process designed by the Anunnaki to serve them. The gods were tired of working and decided to create beings that would do the hard labor for them, particularly mining for gold. This idea aligns with the theories of researchers like Zecharia Sitchin, who propose that the Anunnaki were extraterrestrials who came to Earth to mine for gold, using human beings as their workforce. It is crucial to note that the Sumerian Anunnaki were not the only gods to appear in ancient mythologies. The same or similar figures appear in the Babylonian, Assyrian, and Akkadian mythologies, which evolved from Sumerian traditions. In these texts, the Anunnaki were still portrayed as divine beings but had specific attributes that connected them to various human endeavors, from agriculture to kingship. In the modern era, the concept of the Anunnaki has evolved into a more speculative and controversial subject. Some researchers and theorists, such as Zecharia Sitchin, argue that the Anunnaki were not merely gods in the traditional sense, but rather extraterrestrial visitors from a distant planet called Nibiru. According to Sitchin's theory, The Anunnaki arrived on Earth thousands of years ago, and their advanced technology allowed them to genetically engineer humans to serve as laborers in their quest for gold. Sitchin's controversial ideas have sparked intense debate among scholars, archaeologists, and enthusiasts of ancient astronaut theories. While mainstream historians reject Sitchin's interpretation of the Anunnaki as extraterrestrials, the allure of these theories persists, partly due to the enigmatic nature of the ancient texts and artifacts that describe the Anunnaki. Some proponents of this theory believe that ancient civilizations were far more advanced than we give them credit for, and that the Anunnaki may have shared their knowledge with the early peoples of Earth. Additionally, modern interpretations of the Anunnaki include connections to other mythologies, suggesting that similar gods or extraterrestrials appeared in various cultures across the world. For example, some theorists link the Anunnaki to the ancient Egyptian gods, as well as the gods of other ancient civilizations, like the Mayans and the Greeks. This suggests a widespread influence of the Anunnaki across different cultures and time periods, adding another layer to their mysterious legacy. If the Anunnaki were extraterrestrials, their influence on early civilizations could have been far more profound than we realize. Some researchers suggest that the Anunnaki shared their knowledge of astronomy, mathematics, and agriculture with the Sumerians, which led to the rapid development of civilization. The Sumerians, for instance, are credited with the invention of writing's cuneiform, the wheel, and advanced agricultural techniques, all of which played a crucial role in the rise of Mesopotamian society. It is also important to note that the Anunnaki's presence is not limited to just Sumerian mythology. Similar stories of gods descending from the heavens can be found in cultures across the globe. The idea of celestial beings imparting knowledge to humanity is a recurring theme in ancient texts. From the Bible to the ancient Indian Vedas, this has led some to propose that the Anunnaki could represent a common, ancient memory of extraterrestrial contact, passed down through different cultures and eras. In ancient texts, such as the Epic of Gilgamesh and the Enuma Elish, we also see references to the Anunnaki's role in governance, kingship, and law. These texts suggest that the Anunnaki were not just divine beings who interacted with humanity on a spiritual level, but also played a significant role in shaping the social and political structures of ancient societies. Despite the centuries of research and debate surrounding the Anunnaki, their true identity remains a mystery. Were they gods as the ancient Sumerians believed? Or were they extraterrestrial visitors, as modern theorists suggest? Could they have been both, or perhaps something entirely different? The answers to these questions may never be fully understood, but the search for the truth about the Anunnaki continues to captivate the imaginations of scholars, archaeologists, and conspiracy theorists alike. In conclusion, the Anunnaki are far more than just characters in ancient mythology. They represent a key to understanding the origins of human civilization, the development of ancient cultures, and the enduring mysteries of our past. Whether they were gods, extraterrestrials, or something else entirely, the Anunnaki's influence is undeniable, and their story continues to inspire exploration and speculation about the true nature of human history. As we continue our journey into the heart of Anunnaki mythology, we will uncover the mysteries of their creation, their supposed extraterrestrial origins, and their legacy in shaping the world we know today. Stay tuned as we explore the incredible secrets surrounding the Anunnaki in the next parts of this video. The Anunnaki, often regarded as the gods of Mesopotamian mythology, are figures whose origins trace back to the early civilizations of Sumer, Akkad, Babylon, and Assyria. To understand the significance of the Anunnaki, we must delve into the rich tapestry of myth, religion, and history from which they emerged. Their roles, relationships, and the impact they had on these ancient cultures provide a fascinating glimpse into the belief systems of the time, and more importantly, reveal the profound influence they had on shaping early human civilization. In this section, we will explore the origins of the Anunnaki within the context of Sumerian mythology, examine the roles they played in the creation and organization of the cosmos, and consider their complex relationships with other deities. Through these myths, we will uncover the mystery behind the Anunnaki's influence and their connection to human affairs. The earliest records of the Anunnaki come from the Sumerian civilization, one of the world's first advanced societies. The Sumerians, who inhabited the region of Mesopotamia in modern-day Iraq around 3500 BCE, developed one of the oldest known writing systems, cuneiform, which allowed them to document their religious beliefs and myths. In the Sumerian pantheon, the Anunnaki were a group of gods who played a central role in the creation of the world and humanity. The term Anunnaki is often translated as those who came from the heavens, or offspring of Anu. Anu, the supreme god of the Sumerian pantheon, was associated with the sky, while his consort, Kai, was the goddess of the earth. Together, they gave birth to the Anunnaki, who were thought to embody the forces of both heaven and earth. According to Sumerian mythology, Anu was the chief god of the heavens, and his influence extended across the entire cosmos. However, Anu did not govern alone. He was part of a divine hierarchy, in which the Anunnaki acted as powerful figures who ruled over various aspects of the world, from the natural elements to the lives of human beings. They were not just abstract deities. They were believed to be physically present in the world, shaping events and influencing the course of human history. One of the earliest and most significant references to the Anunnaki comes from the Enuma Elish, a Babylonian creation myth that mirrors earlier Sumerian texts. In this myth, the Anunnaki are said to have been part of the divine council that governed the cosmos and played a role in the creation of the world. Their tasks were varied, and each deity within the Anunnaki had a distinct responsibility, ranging from overseeing the natural world to ensuring the prosperity of human societies. The Anunnaki's role in Sumerian cosmogony. One of the most compelling aspects of the Anunnaki's mythology is their role in the creation of humanity. According to the Sumerian Atrahasis epic, the Anunnaki were responsible for the creation of human beings, a process that was designed to serve the gods' needs. The myth recounts that the Anunnaki, tired of performing manual labor, especially the arduous task of digging for precious minerals, decided to create a race of beings that could take over this work. In this myth, the gods use a mixture of clay and divine essence to fashion the first humans. These humans were created specifically to serve the Anunnaki, working in the mines and tending to the gods' needs. The creation of humanity is often seen as a pivotal moment in Sumerian mythology, marking the point where humans transition from being mere creatures of the earth to beings with a defined purpose, serving the gods. While the Atrahasis epic presents this act as a practical decision on the part of the Anunnaki, later Sumerian texts such as the Epic of Gilgamesh reveal a more complex relationship between the gods and humans. In the Epic of Gilgamesh, the hero Gilgamesh, who is partially divine, embarks on a journey to seek immortality. Along the way, he encounters gods, including Anunnaki, who reveal both their benevolent and vengeful sides. These encounters suggest that the Anunnaki were not only creators and rulers, but also temperamental beings who had a significant influence on the fate of humanity. The mythology surrounding the creation of humanity speaks to a profound relationship between the Anunnaki and humans. The gods are both protectors and taskmasters, and their role in the shaping of human civilization is not merely one of benevolent creation, but of control, governance, and, in some cases, punishment. In the Sumerian religious system, the Anunnaki were part of a complex divine hierarchy. At the top of this hierarchy was Anu, the sky god, who was revered as the ultimate authority. Anu's role was to maintain cosmic order and ensure that the laws of the universe were upheld. His power was immense, and it was believed that he could influence the heavens, the earth, and everything in between. However, the Anunnaki were not all powerful in the way that Anu was. Instead, they were delegated specific roles and responsibilities, which reflected their individual powers and domains. For instance, Enki, one of the most important figures in Sumerian mythology, was the god of water, wisdom, and creation. He played a crucial role in the creation of humanity, offering his knowledge and skills to shape the human race. Enki's wisdom was often sought after by humans, and he was viewed as a more approachable deity than Anu. Another significant member of the Anunnaki was Enlil, the god of air, wind, and storms. Enlil was often depicted as a powerful and sometimes wrathful figure who had the authority to enforce divine justice. His role was critical in maintaining the balance of the world, and it was believed that he had the power to cause both life and death. Enlil's temper, however, was legendary. In the Epic of Gilgamesh, for example, Enlil is portrayed as an unforgiving god who unleashes a great flood to punish humanity for their transgressions. Other Anunnaki figures include Ninursag, the mother goddess, Utu, the sun god, and Inanna as the goddess of love and war. Each of these deities had a distinct role in the Sumerian pantheon and contributed to the functioning of the cosmos. Together, the Anunnaki formed a divine council that ensured the proper order of the universe and governed over the various aspects of human life. While the Anunnaki are most closely associated with Sumerian mythology, their influence extended beyond the borders of Sumer and into the broader Mesopotamian region, as the Sumerians were conquered and absorbed by the Akkadians, Babylonians, and Assyrians. The Anunnaki's mythology and symbolism were incorporated into the religious systems of these cultures as well. In Babylonian mythology, the Anunnaki were still seen as powerful deities, but their roles were adapted to fit the changing cultural landscape. The Babylonians, who succeeded the Sumerians as the dominant power in Mesopotamia, placed a greater emphasis on Marduk, the god of creation, as the central figure in their pantheon. However, the Anunnaki were still acknowledged as important deities who played key roles in the governance of the universe. Similarly, the Assyrians, who followed the Babylonians, also venerated the Anunnaki, although their focus was on the more martial gods of war and conquest, such as Ashur and Ishtar. Despite these shifts in focus, the Anunnaki continued to be seen as powerful beings who influenced human affairs and controlled the forces of nature. The Anunnaki were not just distant, ethereal gods. They were deeply involved in the lives of humans. Their influence was felt in every aspect of life, from the creation of the first cities to the establishment of laws and governance. The Anunnaki were believed to have established the first systems of law and order, helping to form the foundation of civilization itself. One of the most enduring aspects of Anunnaki mythology is their role as lawgivers. In the Code of Ur-Nammu, one of the earliest known legal codes, The Anunnaki are invoked as the divine authorities, who gave the king the power to enforce justice. Similarly, in the Epic of Gilgamesh, the protagonist Gilgamesh is tasked with seeking wisdom from the gods in order to rule his people justly. This suggests that the Anunnaki were seen not only as divine figures who controlled the natural world, but also as those who shaped the moral and social structures of society. However, the Anunnaki were also viewed as harsh rulers, quick to punish those who disobeyed divine laws. In the Atrahasis epic, the Anunnaki send a great flood to wipe out humanity for its disobedience, a theme that is echoed in the story of Noah's Ark in the Bible. This shows that while the Anunnaki were believed to be creators and lawgivers, they were also punishing deities who were not afraid to destroy humanity if they strayed from the divine path. The Anunnaki's mythology is vast, complex, and deeply interwoven with the origins of human civilization. From their creation of humanity to their roles as gods of creation, wisdom, and destruction, the Anunnaki were central figures in the religious and cultural landscape of ancient Mesopotamia. Their stories continue to captivate modern audiences, inspiring theories about their possible extraterrestrial origins and their influence on ancient human history. In this chapter, we have explored the mythological origins of the Anunnaki, their roles in the creation of humanity, and their hierarchical structure within the divine pantheon. In the following sections, we will continue to explore their impact on ancient civilizations and their enduring legacy in the modern world. The mysteries surrounding the Anunnaki have captivated not only scholars of ancient Mesopotamian culture, but also modern thinkers, especially in the context of ancient astronaut theories. These theories propose that extraterrestrial beings, often linked to gods or mythological figures, visited Earth in antiquity and influenced early human civilization. One of the most compelling and controversial of these theories connects the Anunnaki to extraterrestrial entities that arrived from other planets, specifically Nibiru, a supposed distant planet within our solar system. The idea suggests that the Anunnaki may have played a crucial role in shaping humanity's technological and cultural development, with their origins lying beyond the Earth itself. In this section, we will explore the development of ancient astronaut theories, the arguments supporting these ideas, and how the Anunnaki fit into this speculative framework. By examining ancient texts, archaeological findings, and modern interpretations, we will attempt to understand why the Anunnaki continue to be central figures in discussions about extraterrestrial contact in antiquity. The roots of ancient astronaut theories can be traced back to the early 20th century, but the concept gained significant popularity through the work of authors such as Erich von Däniken, who published his landmark book Chariots of the Gods. In 1968, von Däniken proposed that advanced extraterrestrial beings had visited Earth in prehistoric times, influencing the development of ancient cultures and civilizations. He argued that many of the myths, religious beliefs, and technological advancements of ancient peoples could be understood as the result of contact with beings from other planets. According to von Däniken and other proponents of ancient astronaut theories, the evidence for extraterrestrial intervention can be found in the ancient texts, archaeological artifacts, and even architectural marvels left behind by early civilizations. Some of the most compelling evidence, they argue, can be found in the myths and religious traditions of ancient cultures, where gods and other supernatural beings are often described as coming from the heavens or descending from the sky. These figures are frequently associated with extraordinary knowledge, technology, and power, all of which seem beyond the capabilities of early humans. One of the central arguments of ancient astronaut theorists is that many ancient cultures, including the Sumerians, may have misinterpreted the arrival of technologically advanced beings from the stars as the arrival of gods. The Anunnaki, in particular, are often cited as prime examples of these heavenly visitors, who may have shared their knowledge of agriculture, metallurgy, mathematics, and other technologies with early humans. Some theorists even suggest that the Anunnaki may have genetically engineered humanity to create a workforce capable of serving them in their various endeavors, including mining precious resources like gold. One of the most enduring aspects of the ancient astronaut theory involving the Anunnaki is the idea of their home planet, Nibiru. Nibiru is described in various ancient texts as a distant planet in our solar system, whose orbit brings it into close proximity to Earth once every 600 years. The concept of Nibiru originates from Sumerian and Babylonian cosmology, where it is sometimes referred to as Marduk or Nibiru, associated with the god Marduk in later Babylonian mythology. The theory of Nibiru's influence on ancient history is largely based on interpretations of Sumerian and Akkadian texts, which mention the planet as a celestial body of great importance. Some theorists argue that the Anunnaki were not only gods from the heavens, but extraterrestrial beings from Nibiru who visited Earth during its closest orbital approach. These theorists suggest that the Anunnaki may have come to Earth to mine for gold, a resource they required for their home planet, which was facing a critical shortage of this precious element. The idea of Nibiru has gained widespread attention, particularly among those who believe in the ancient astronaut theory, because it provides a narrative that connects the Anunnaki's alleged extraterrestrial origins to the broader cosmos. According to these theories, Nibiru's periodic return is thought to coincide with significant events in human history, such as the emergence of civilization itself or the potential for the Anunnaki's return in the future. While mainstream science has largely dismissed the idea of Nibiru as a mythological construct, proponents of the theory argue that the Sumerians and other ancient cultures possessed knowledge of this distant planet, which was passed down through their religious and mythological traditions. Some theorists even claim that Nibiru's existence could explain certain astronomical phenomena and cyclical events, such as the mass extinctions that have occurred on Earth in the past. One of the most controversial aspects of the ancient astronaut theory is the suggestion that the Anunnaki may have played a direct role in the genetic engineering of humanity. According to this theory, the Anunnaki may have manipulated the genetic material of early hominids, such as Homo erectus, to create modern Homo sapiens as a slave race to serve them. This idea has been popularized by authors like Zecharia Sitchin, who in his book The 12th Planet in 1976 proposed that the Anunnaki arrived on Earth around 450,000 years ago and created humanity by splicing their own DNA with that of primitive Earth species. Sitchin's work is rooted in his interpretation of ancient Sumerian texts, particularly the Enuma Elish and the Epic of Gilgamesh, where he argues that the Anunnaki were responsible for both the creation and manipulation of early human beings. He believes that the Anunnaki came to Earth to mine gold, and in the process, they decided to genetically engineer a race of workers to assist them in their endeavors. According to Sitchin and other proponents of this theory, the creation of humans was not an act of divine inspiration or mythological storytelling, but rather a scientific and technological endeavor carried out by the Anunnaki. They used their advanced knowledge of genetics to splice their own DNA with that of Earth's hominids, creating a race of beings capable of working for them. This theory has sparked significant debate, particularly among scholars and scientists who argue that there is no direct evidence to support the claim that extraterrestrials played a role in the creation of humanity. Critics also point out that Sitchin's interpretations of ancient texts and archaeological evidence are highly speculative and not supported by mainstream academic research. Despite the lack of empirical evidence, the idea that the Anunnaki engineered humanity resonates with many who are intrigued by the possibility extraterrestrial intervention in human history. The notion that humans are not merely the result of natural evolutionary processes, but rather the product. Ancient extraterrestrial engineering presents a radically different view of our origins, gifts, or manipulation. Another key element of the ancient astronaut theory involving the Anunnaki is the idea that these extraterrestrial beings provided advanced technology to ancient civilizations. Many proponents of the theory point to the sudden and unexplained advancements in technology and knowledge that emerged in ancient Sumer and other Mesopotamian cultures that the Anunnaki shared their superior knowledge with humanity. For example, the Sumerians were among the first to develop advanced writing systems, and such as cuneiform, create monumental architecture, like the ziggurats, and establish sophisticated systems of law and governance. The question arises, how did these early cultures, without the benefit of modern technology, achieve such feats? Proponents of the ancient astronaut theory argue that the Anunnaki may have been responsible for teaching these early civilizations advanced knowledge in various fields, including agriculture, metallurgy, architecture, and astronomy. The Sumerians, for instance, possessed an advanced understanding of the heavens, as evidenced by their complex calendar system, and knowledge of the movement of celestial bodies. Some theorists suggest that this knowledge could have been passed down to them by the Anunnaki, who, with their extraterrestrial origins, possessed far superior understanding of the cosmos. Moreover, the architectural marvels of ancient Mesopotamia, such as the construction of ziggurats and large cities, are often cited as evidence of the Anunnaki's technological prowess. The precise and monumental nature of these structures, many of which seem impossible to construct with the tools available at the time, has led some to speculate that the Anunnaki may have shared knowledge of advanced engineering techniques, or even provided the necessary tools to the Sumerians. Additionally, some proponents of the theory argue that the sudden rise of metallurgy, particularly the ability to work with gold and precious metals, could be explained by the intervention of the Anunnaki, who were said to be in need of gold for their home planet, Nibiru. While the ancient astronaut theory involving the Anunnaki is intriguing, it is important to critically assess the evidence put forth by its proponents. Ancient texts, such as the Epic of Gilgamesh and the Enuma Elish, certainly describe gods descending from the heavens and interacting with humans. But whether these stories are literal accounts of extraterrestrial contact or symbolic representations of natural forces is a matter of ongoing debate. Many mainstream historians and archaeologists argue that the ancient astronaut theory misinterprets ancient myths and religious texts, reading them as literal descriptions of extraterrestrial events, rather than symbolic or metaphorical representations of human experiences. These myths, they argue, are products of the religious and cultural contexts of ancient Mesopotamian societies, not evidence of extraterrestrial intervention. Similarly, while ancient ruins and artifacts often display remarkable craftsmanship, there is little direct evidence to suggest that they were the result of extraterrestrial influence. Critics of the ancient astronaut theory argue that the achievements of early civilizations can be explained through human ingenuity, gradual technological advancement, and the development of specialized knowledge over time. The Anunnaki have become central figures. Both the study of ancient Mesopotamian mythology and the broader conversation about extraterrestrial life. Whether they were gods of creation, advanced beings from another planet, or a combination of both, the Anunnaki continue to captivate the imaginations of people worldwide. In examining their connection to ancient astronaut theories, we have explored a variety of ideas that challenge our traditional understanding of history. The belief that the Anunnaki were extraterrestrial beings who influenced humanity's development remains controversial, but it also raises intriguing questions about the nature of human origins, the role of advanced civilizations in our past, and the possibility of life beyond Earth. As we continue to explore the Anunnaki's legacy, it is clear that their story is not just a relic of ancient mythology, but a modern phenomenon that speaks to our enduring fascination with the unknown. Whether as gods or visitors from distant stars, the Anunnaki are likely to remain a subject of intrigue and debate for generations to come. The Anunnaki are often depicted as powerful, godlike figures in the mythologies of ancient Mesopotamian cultures. However, their influence extends beyond the divine realm and permeates the civilizations that flourished in the region, particularly in Sumer, Akkad, Babylon, and Assyria. As key players in the religious, cultural, and political landscapes of these ancient societies, the Anunnaki are central to understanding how these civilizations developed and how their legacies continue to shape modern perceptions of ancient history. This chapter will explore the role of the Anunnaki in the rise and development of these ancient cultures, their relationship with kingship, governance, and their lasting impact on the cultural and religious practices of later civilizations. The Sumerians are widely regarded as one of the first advanced civilizations in human history, emerging around 3000 BCE in the fertile lands between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. The Anunnaki are deeply embedded in the Sumerian worldview, serving not only as gods, but also as powerful influencers in the social, political, and economic spheres. In Sumerian cosmology, the Anunnaki are the divine beings who shape the fate of humanity and the world itself. The primary source of Sumerian knowledge about the Anunnaki comes from cuneiform texts, the earliest form of writing in human history. These texts include myths, hymns, and administrative records that detail the complex relationships between the Anunnaki, human rulers, and society. The Sumerians believed that the Anunnaki resided in the heavens, ruling over various aspects of existence, from the creation of the world to the fate of individual humans. One of the most important myths related to the Anunnaki is the Epic of Gilgamesh, which tells the story of Gilgamesh, a historical king of the Sumerian city-state of Uruk. In this epic, Gilgamesh seeks to understand the meaning of life, death, and immortality. The gods, including the Anunnaki, play an essential role in the narrative, offering wisdom, guidance, and divine intervention. The Anunnaki's involvement in the epic highlights their influence on Sumerian kingship, as Gilgamesh's interactions with the gods are central to his personal journey and the fate of his people. The Anunnaki's role in Sumerian society was not confined to mythological narratives. They were also believed to be directly involved in the political and administrative affairs of the city-states. Sumerian kings often claimed divine favor and guidance from the Anunnaki, legitimizing their rule and authority. Temples dedicated to the Anunnaki were central to Sumerian cities, and the priests who served in these temples acted as intermediaries between the gods and the people. These temples were not only religious centers, but also hubs of political and economic power, further illustrating the connection between the Anunnaki and the governance of Sumerian society. The Akkadian Empire, which emerged around 300 BCE under the leadership of Sargon of Akkad, marked a significant shift in the political landscape of Mesopotamia. The Akkadians, who spoke a Semitic language, conquered the Sumerian city-states and united much of Mesopotamia under a single empire. Despite their linguistic and cultural differences, the Akkadians maintained many aspects of Sumerian religious practices, including reverence for the Anunnaki. Sargon of Akkad, like his Sumerian predecessors, claimed divine legitimacy for his rule. In Akkadian inscriptions, Sargon often refers to the Anunnaki as the gods who granted him the authority to conquer and rule. The Akkadian kingship was thus framed in terms of divine will, with the Anunnaki serving as the ultimate source of political power. This divine endorsement was essential for the Akkadian rulers, as it reinforced their authority and helped maintain social order within their newly established empire. The Akkadian Empire also saw the development of new religious concepts, which were influenced by the Sumerian understanding of the Anunnaki. While the Akkadians continued to honor the Sumerian gods, they also introduced new religious ideas and practices, often syncretizing them with Sumerian traditions. The Anunnaki, in this context, were not only seen as gods of creation and destruction, but also as intermediaries between the human and divine realms. The Akkadians maintained a deep reverence for the Anunnaki, but they also sought to reshape their mythology to reflect the changing political and social realities of the time. The Anunnaki in the age of Marduk, the Babylonian Empire, which rose to prominence in the 18th century BCE under the rule of King Hammurabi, represents another important phase in the evolution of Anunnaki worship. The Babylonians, like the Akkadians, inherited much of the Sumerian religious and cultural traditions, including the reverence for the Anunnaki. However, the Babylonians introduced their own interpretations of the Anunnaki mythos, which centered on the god Marduk as the supreme deity of the pantheon. Marduk was the patron god of Babylon and, according to Babylonian mythology, was the hero who defeated the chaos monster Tiamat in a great cosmic battle. After Marduk's victory, he established order in the universe and became the chief god of the Babylonian pantheon. The Babylonians saw Marduk as the leader of the Anunnaki, who were now his divine council. The Anunnaki's roles were redefined in the context of Marduk's supremacy, with each deity assigned a specific function in maintaining the cosmic order. Despite the rise of Marduk, the Anunnaki continued to play an important role in Babylonian religion. They were still seen as powerful and influential gods, but their prominence was now secondary to Marduk's leadership. The Babylonian kings, including Hammurabi, continued to invoke the Anunnaki as part of their divine justification for rule, and temples dedicated to the Anunnaki remained central to the religious life of the empire. The Babylonian influence on later cultures, particularly the Persians and the Hebrews, was significant. The Babylonian exile of the Jewish people, for example, exposed the Israelites to Babylonian religious ideas, which may have influenced the development of their own beliefs about gods, kingship, and the afterlife. The Anunnaki, as powerful celestial beings, may have provided a model for later conceptions of divine authority and intervention in the affairs of humans. The Assyrian Empire and the Anunnaki's role in warfare. The Assyrian Empire, which flourished from the 10th to the 7th century BCE, was another major civilization in Mesopotamia. that continued the legacy of Anunnaki worship. The Assyrians, known for their military prowess and ruthless conquests, viewed the Anunnaki as powerful deities who could bestow victory on the battlefield. Assyrian kings such as Tiglath-Pileser-Hu, Shalmaneser V, and Sargon-Sai often invoked the Anunnaki in royal inscriptions, claiming that their military successes were a result of the divine favor of the gods. The Anunnaki were seen as protectors of the Assyrian Empire, with their blessings ensuring the success of military campaigns. In the Assyrian worldview, the gods were intimately involved in warfare, guiding and empowering their chosen rulers to expand their territories and defeat their enemies. The Anunnaki were thus not only associated with creation and governance, but also with destruction and conquest, reflecting the Assyrians' militaristic values. The Assyrians also believed that their kings were the direct representatives of the gods on earth. Like the Sumerians and Akkadians before them, the Assyrian kings used their divine connection to justify their rule. The kings of Assyria were often depicted as warriors who fought on behalf of the gods, using their strength and cunning to achieve victory for the empire. The Anunnaki, in this context, were seen as partners in the Assyrians' military campaigns, granting the kings the power to conquer and subdue their enemies. The Anunnaki and the influence on later cultures. While the direct influence of the Anunnaki began to wane with the fall of the Assyrian Empire and the rise of the Persian Empire, their legacy endured in various forms in later cultures. The ancient Mesopotamian concepts of gods, kingship, and divine favor continued to shape the religious and political ideas of later civilizations in the region. The Persian Empire, for example, adopted many aspects of Mesopotamian religious thought, including the belief in powerful, celestial gods who governed the cosmos and influenced the fate of humanity. The Persian king, like the kings of Mesopotamia, was seen as the divine representative on earth, tasked with maintaining cosmic order and justice. In addition, the Anunnaki's influence can be seen in the religious beliefs of the Hebrews. The concept of a powerful, all-knowing deity who rules over humanity and the cosmos shares similarities with the ancient Mesopotamian gods. The Israelites were exposed to Babylonian religious ideas during their exile, and some scholars believe that elements of Anunnaki worship may have influenced the development of Jewish monotheism. The Anunnaki played a significant role in the religious, political, and cultural life of ancient Mesopotamia, shaping the civilizations that rose and fell in the region. From their involvement in the creation of humanity to their roles as protectors and rulers, the Anunnaki were central figures in the mythologies and governance of the Sumerians, Akkadians, Babylonians, and Assyrians. Even as their direct influence waned with the rise of new empires and religious ideas, the Anunnaki's legacy endured, continuing to shape the religious and political thought of later civilizations. Today, the Anunnaki remain an enduring mystery, capturing the imagination of scholars and enthusiasts alike. Whether viewed as gods, extraterrestrial beings, or symbolic representations of cosmic forces, the Anunnaki continue to fascinate and inspire, offering valuable insights into the ancient world and the development of human civilization. The Anunnaki, once confined to the ancient texts of Mesopotamian mythologies, have transcended their mythological origins and become central figures in modern pop culture and fringe theories. Over the past century, the Anunnaki have captured the imagination of not just historians, archaeologists, and scholars, but also writers, filmmakers, conspiracy theorists, and enthusiasts of the supernatural and extraterrestrial. This chapter will explore how the Anunnaki have been reinterpreted and presented in modern media, the rise of the ancient astronaut theory, and how these ancient gods continue to influence contemporary culture and belief systems. The rise of the ancient astronaut theory. In the early 20th century, a revolutionary theory began to take shape, suggesting that extraterrestrial beings, rather than gods, were responsible for influencing the development of human civilizations. This theory, known as the ancient astronaut theory, posits that advanced extraterrestrial beings visited Earth in antiquity, sharing their knowledge, technology, and wisdom with early humans. The ancient astronauts were believed to have been worshipped as gods by the peoples they encountered, and their legacy lives on in the myths and stories of civilizations such as the Sumerians. Erich von Däniken's groundbreaking book Chariots of the Gods, in 1968, brought the ancient astronaut theory into the mainstream, and one of the primary examples he cited in his work was the Anunnaki. Von Däniken suggested that the Anunnaki were not merely gods, as described in the ancient Mesopotamian texts, but were in fact extraterrestrial beings who traveled from distant planets or stars to Earth, imparting their knowledge to the early civilizations of Sumer, Babylon, and Akkad. According to von Däniken, these ancient astronauts were responsible for the rapid advancement of early human societies, including the development of agriculture, writing, architecture, and astronomy. Von Däniken's ideas were largely speculative, but they struck a chord with many people, sparking a wave of interest in ancient civilizations and extraterrestrial life. The theory suggested that the Anunnaki could explain some of the great mysteries of human history, such as the sudden appearance of advanced technologies in ancient cultures, or the construction of massive architectural structures like the pyramids and ziggurats. Subsequent works such as The 12th Planet 1976 by Zecharia Sitchin further popularized the idea of the Anunnaki as extraterrestrial beings. Sitchin's interpretation of Sumerian texts proposed that the Anunnaki came from a mysterious planet called Nibiru, which has an elongated orbit that brings it into the vicinity of Earth every 600 years. According to Sitchin, the Anunnaki arrived on Earth in search of gold and other resources, and their advanced technology allowed them to manipulate human genetics, creating a labor force to mine for these materials. Sitchin's theory, though widely criticized by mainstream scholars, became highly influential among those interested in alternative histories and the possibility of extraterrestrial contact in ancient times. The ancient astronaut theory gained significant traction through the rise of media outlets, such as the History Channel, which launched the popular series Ancient Aliens in 2009. The show presents the idea that extraterrestrial beings, including the Anunnaki, have influenced human history, providing evidence from ancient texts, myths, and archaeological discoveries. Ancient Aliens popularized the belief that the gods of ancient civilizations were, in fact, extraterrestrial visitors, and it explored the possibility that advanced alien civilizations may have visited Earth in the distant past. The Anunnaki in popular media. The influence of the Anunnaki on modern culture is not limited to academic theories and speculative books. Over the years, the Anunnaki have become prominent characters in various forms of popular culture, including books, movies, television shows, and video games. These modern interpretations of the Anunnaki blend ancient mythology with contemporary ideas about aliens, secret societies, and the supernatural, helping to maintain their relevance and intrigue in the modern world. One of the most notable portrayals of the Anunnaki in popular media is in the realm of science fiction. In many science fiction works, the Anunnaki are depicted as an ancient, powerful race of extraterrestrials who once ruled over Earth and left behind enigmatic relics of their civilization. These portrayals often draw heavily on the ancient astronaut theory, using the Anunnaki as a central component of fictional narratives about the origins of humanity and the secrets of lost civilizations. For example, in the Stargate franchise, which includes both a television series and a film, the concept of ancient extraterrestrial beings playing a role in human history is a central theme. The series features a race of ancient aliens, known as the Gold, who are depicted as parasitic gods that manipulate human populations throughout Earth's history. While the Gold are not directly associated with the Anunnaki, the series draws heavily on the idea of ancient extraterrestrial beings exerting control over human civilizations, a concept that echoes the ancient astronaut theory and the belief in the Anunnaki as gods from another world. In addition to Stargate, the Anunnaki have been featured in various books and films, often as part of broader conspiracy theories or stories about extraterrestrial contact. In the book The Anunnaki Chronicles, since 2011 by Janine L. Ferguson, the author presents a fictionalized account of the Anunnaki and their influence on Earth, mixing elements of history, mythology, and science fiction. Similarly, in the Elder Scrolls video game series, which is set in a fantasy universe, the Anunnaki are referenced as powerful and ancient beings that once played a significant role in shaping the world and the fate of its inhabitants. The concept of the Anunnaki also appears in various works that blend speculative fiction with real-world conspiracy theories. Many authors and filmmakers incorporate the Anunnaki into their stories, suggesting that these ancient beings continue to exert influence on Earth through secret societies, hidden knowledge, and covert agendas. This theme is evident in works like The Da Vinci Code by Dan Brown, which explores secret societies and hidden knowledge, and in the X-Files television series, where government cover-ups and alien conspiracies are central to the narrative. The Anunnaki and conspiracy theories. The Anunnaki have become a central figure in numerous conspiracy theories, which often propose that ancient extraterrestrial beings, such as the Anunnaki, are still present on Earth today, either hidden in secret underground bases or operating through shadowy global elites. These theories often blend elements of ancient astronaut theory, New Age beliefs, and modern fears about government control, corporate power, and global surveillance. One of the most popular conspiracy theories surrounding the Anunnaki is the belief that they are still secretly influencing human affairs. Some theorists suggest that the Anunnaki are part of a vast, hidden network of alien intelligences that work behind the scenes to manipulate world events, control the global economy, and even shape political ideologies. This theory is often linked to the idea of a global cabal or secret society, such as the Illuminati, which is said to be in contact with the Anunnaki or working to implement their hidden agenda. In some conspiracy circles, the Anunnaki are thought to be the originators of human slavery, having created humanity as a slave race to mine resources for their own benefit. According to these theories, the Anunnaki may still be using humans as a source of labor, either through direct control or by manipulating world governments and corporations. This belief is often connected to ideas about the New World Order and the rise of a global authoritarian regime. The idea of the Anunnaki as secret rulers of the Earth has also been linked to the belief in a coming apocalypse or transformation, often referred to as the Nibiru Cataclysm. According to some theorists, the Anunnaki's home planet, Nibiru, is on a collision course with Earth, and when it returns, it will usher in a new age of human evolution, or possibly the end of the world as we know it. This theory is based on the writings of Zecharia Sitchin, who proposed that the Anunnaki's return would coincide with a global upheaval and the revelation of hidden truths about human history. The Anunnaki in the New Age movement, in addition to conspiracy theories, the Anunnaki are also featured prominently in New Age beliefs and spiritual practices. Many followers of the New Age movement believe that the Anunnaki are advanced beings who possess ancient wisdom and spiritual knowledge. These beliefs often center around the idea that the Anunnaki are benevolent beings who seek to guide humanity toward enlightenment, urging us to unlock our hidden potential and ascend to higher levels of consciousness. Some New Age thinkers propose that the Anunnaki were once our spiritual teachers, offering profound insights into the nature of the universe and human existence. This view contrasts with the darker, more conspiratorial ideas about the Anunnaki, portraying them as spiritual guides or benevolent extraterrestrials who are working to help humanity awaken to a new era of peace, harmony, and enlightenment. The Anunnaki, originally conceived as gods in the ancient mythologies of Mesopotamia, have undergone a profound transformation in modern culture, from their role in the ancient astronaut theory to their appearances in science fiction, conspiracy theories, and New Age beliefs. The Anunnaki continue to be a source of fascination and intrigue. Whether viewed as extraterrestrial beings, spiritual guides, or symbols of hidden knowledge, the Anunnaki embody humanity's deep-seated curiosity about the unknown, our origins, and our place in the universe. As we continue to explore the mysteries of ancient civilizations and their connection to the cosmos, the Anunnaki will likely remain a central figure in our quest for answers to some of humanity's oldest and most enduring questions. As we conclude our deep dive into the Anunnaki, we've only scratched the surface of the many mysteries surrounding these ancient beings and their impact on human civilization. Whether you see them as gods, extraterrestrials, or cosmic teachers, their influence on modern beliefs continues to intrigue and inspire. The true nature of the Anunnaki remains a puzzle that many are still trying to solve, and it's clear that the quest for answers is far from over. What do you think about the Anunnaki? Do you believe they had a role in shaping ancient civilizations? Or do you think their stories are just myths passed down through generations? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video and want to explore more fascinating topics about ancient mysteries and hidden knowledge, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and like the video. Your support means the world to us, and it helps us continue to bring you thought-provoking content. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video where we uncover even more secrets of the past.